Today, we're going to tackle a really crucial skill: how to stop getting that generic, kind of useless stuff from AI and start getting exactly what you're looking for. We're going to break down three super powerful techniques to do it, from the simple to the pretty advanced. You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. You ask for a quick summary or a creative idea, and what you get back is just completely off. Irrelevant, bland, sometimes just plain wrong. It can honestly feel like you're talking to a wall. But here's the thing. What if the problem isn't the AI? What if it's us? It turns out the real secret isn't waiting for a smarter AI, it's about having a better conversation. And learning how to ask the right way, well, that's the key that unlocks everything. Okay, so first up is what I like to call the art of the ask, or more technically, prompt engineering. This is your foundation. This is square one for every single interaction you have with an AI, and honestly, getting good at this will immediately change your results. The best way to get your head around it is to think about ordering coffee. If you walk up to the counter and just say coffee, who knows what you'll get? Probably just a generic black coffee. But if you say, I'll have a large caramel latte with oat milk, you're going to get exactly what you wanted. Specificity is your best friend with AI.
So yeah, this goes way beyond just typing a question into a box. It's about being thoughtful, crafting your request to guide the AI to the precise answer in the exact style and format that you need. You're basically the director of the conversation.
So let's look at two basic ways to do this. On one hand, you've got zero-shot prompting. This is the most direct approach. You just give a command, like translate this sentence, with zero examples. The AI gets one shot. But then you've got few-shot prompting, and this is where it gets interesting. You give the AI a few examples of what you want, and it instantly learns the pattern. The quality of the output just skyrockets. But you want a real game changer? A little magic phrase for when you're dealing with complex problems. Instead of asking for the final answer right away, just add this little sentence. Let's think step by step. That's it. This simple trick forces the AI to slow down, show its work, and reason its way to a conclusion instead of just guessing. And this isn't just a theory, it really works. For complex reasoning tasks, studies have shown that this chain of thought method can boost accuracy by up to 28%. I mean, think about that, a 28% improvement just for adding a few simple words. That's massive. All right, so great prompting is your foundation, but even the best prompt in the world has its limits. I mean, what happens when you need an AI to know about your company's latest report or some news that broke yesterday? That's where our second tool comes in. It's called RAG. See, here's the fundamental problem you have to remember. Any given AI model is basically a snapshot of the internet frozen in time. Its knowledge cutoff might be a year or two ago. So it has absolutely no idea what happened last week. It definitely doesn't know about your private company data, and it can't just go browse the web for live info. And this is the exact problem that Retrieval-Augmented Generation, or RAG for short, is designed to solve. The best analogy really is giving the AI a library card. But it's a special library card that only gives it access to a specific, up-to-date collection of information. Your documents, your data. So how does this actually work? Well, it's pretty clever. First, your documents get organized into a searchable knowledge base. Then, when you ask a question, the system instantly finds the most relevant little snippets of text from your documents. Then, and this is the key part, it augments your prompt by combining your original question with those snippets it found. Finally, it hands that whole package to the AI to generate an answer based on fresh, accurate context. And you can imagine the possibilities, right? A customer support bot that knows your product manual cold, an internal assistant that can quote company policy perfectly. The biggest benefit here is that RAG grounds the AI in facts. It forces it to base its answers on real documents, which dramatically cuts down on the risk of it just making stuff up, what we call hallucinations. Okay, so we've learned how to talk to an AI and how to give it a library. But what if that's not enough? What if you need it to become a true specialist, to deeply understand a specific skill or adopt a unique voice? Well, that's when we bring out the heavy machinery. Our third tool, fine-tuning. If RAG is like giving a smart person a library card, fine-tuning is like sending that person to medical school. You're not just giving it information to look up on the fly, you are fundamentally retraining part of its neural network, its brain, to make it an expert in a specific domain. The way this works is you take a powerful pre-trained model and you put it through more training. But this time, you use a large, high-quality, specialized data set. We're talking thousands, maybe tens of thousands of examples.
This process allows the model to deeply learn the nuances, the patterns, the jargon, and the style of a very particular job.
Now there is a serious trade-off, and you can see it right here. Prompting engineering, it's cheap, it's fast, anyone can start learning it today. Fine-tuning, it's expensive, it can take weeks or more, and it requires some pretty advanced skills. So the takeaway is simple. You prototype and handle most tasks with prompting. You only invest in fine-tuning when you need consistent, expert-level, specialized performance.
So, we've got our three big tools: prompting, RAG, and fine-tuning. But the real magic, the secret sauce, isn't about choosing just one of them. It's about understanding how to make them all work together.
You really have to stop thinking of these as an either-or choice. They're not competing with each other. They're layers. They're a complementary toolkit for building a sophisticated AI strategy. Each one solves a different kind of problem, and they build on each other beautifully. And there's a really logical way to stack them up. Here's the workflow. You always start with prompt engineering. That's step one, to just prototype and define what you're even trying to do. Then you add RAG on top, to connect the AI to current factual data. And finally, if and only if you need it, you fine-tune the model to bake in that deep, specialized skill. Let's make this totally concrete. Imagine a medical AI assistant. It uses fantastic prompting to ask a patient clear, structured questions. It uses RAG to check its thinking against the absolute latest medical journals. And it has been fine-tuned on tens of thousands of medical cases to help it recognize complex diagnostic patterns. You see how all three work in harmony? Okay, we've covered a ton of ground here, from simple conversational tricks all the way to advanced retraining. So let's bring it all home and talk about what this really means for you. If there's one thing you take away from this, it's this. You are not at the mercy of the AI. By understanding prompt engineering, RAG, and fine-tuning, you now have a toolkit, and that toolkit gives you control. It allows you to shape the conversation, ground it in facts, and build genuine expertise. This isn't just theory, right? These are practical tools you can use to start building smarter, more reliable, and way more powerful AI applications. So really, the only question left is, now that you have the toolkit, what are you going to build?